Now, I would tell you the name of this town or village, but I don't know what it is.
I don't actually
just don't
know.
know. We drove for it the other day.
Win something?
Winscombe or something. And I said, we don't never stop there. And you said, we don't ever stop there.
We don't never stop there. You say never, we ever stop there.
We don't never.
We don't never.
We don't ever. Oh, Austin.
Sorry.
Anyway, so this small village has 2 charity shops. It has a crazy one and it has a normal one. The normal one's always closed, and this is the crazy one. This is an RSPCA.
When we say crazy, it's huge, but like I don't know how to explain it. There's lots of stuff everywhere, but I feel like a lot of the stuff stays there, and they just add new product, and the new
On
product
top
gets
of it.
exactly that.
I feel like it's a health hazard.
Vintage ski jacket.
Waiting to happen.
Or no, maybe a bike jacket actually.
Oh, could you get it right for the peoples at home? And that would have much.
Well, it was severely padded, so I don't think it was like padded in a ski weight. Anyway,
a lot of vintage stuff, a lot of like, I call it very house clearancey. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, that is a good point.
If you're into sort of house clearance stores or boot sales and things, I feel like this is the accumulation of them all.
This is cool. This is like I don't even call it. What would you call it?
A utility vest.
Yeah, exactly that. Very for the kids
vogue.
at the moment. It didn't have a particular great brand, but didn't have a brand really whatsoever. It was a couple pounds, so I grabbed it. It's also wool lined, which is, once again, it means it was made by someone decent.
I got a Orvis corduroy dress. I don't pick
That's
up a
full
lot
length,
of
isn't it?
yeah. I don't pick up a lot of Orvis unless it's men's utility wear. However, I love the corduroy and I love the seafoam blue
colour was nice, yeah.
It was £5. I also picked up this Joseph Ribkoff Creations dress.
Crazy.
It was £2.50. Can't really say no. Would expect a £50 return from that one.
Bargain.
Like the polka dots.
The top's like creepy as well, isn't it?
Smocked, and it had a very like 90s vibe to it. And the Orvis dress I put up for 40 as well, and we paid 5 for that one.
Once again, this is like mostly discounted or cheaper, I should say, as regards the cost of these items in this shop.
But they make you dig.
Is this a pound rail or no? No, it's not.
Trouser rail, Austin. So okay. Austin found these LK Bennett. LK Bennett isn't a brand we pick up a huge amount of. However, for £2, I did say yes on these because they are full velvet. And I think, although black trousers are black trousers, I think these have a bit of pizzazz. I think that's a very sellable item.
Once again, a good brand, a different kind of fabric, a different kind of look, not just an everyday black trouser, and something which will sell eventually. Either way, online with a decent price.
I think definitely a more vintage-based thing. I'll try for 25-30 and see where we end up. But for those prices, you can't really say anything.
I feel like that shop, you could spend hours and hours and hours but come up with nothing. I think we were in there like, half hour maybe-ish? What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm saying we got like a couple of items, but in general, like you could spend hours and hours. Like the toy section is absurd.
Anyway, so we moved on to Cheddar, and yes, they do make the cheese here. The cheese originated from this place, Cheddar Valley, Cheddar Gorge.
Cheddar Gorge.
If you want to get technical, now closed down to the general public, but you used to be able to.
You're like a tour operator.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? I like Cheddar. It's a strange place, but they have 3 shops. They have this one that we're in, and then they have
2 others.
2 others. Then they have 2 chain ones and 1 independent, and the independent one is for the welfare of hedgehogs.
Like that's kind of iconic.
That. It's called Prickles.
I don't even know if it was called. Is it actually called Prickles?
Yeah.
The last one. Fair enough. Okay, I'm just looking at a shirt, checking it out, and seeing what we can do. Go on, what?
See, look, we always talk over it. It's worth looking at obscure men's names that look posh without being funny, because normally they have some value.
And vintage Yarmouth Ralph shirts. Everyone knows my love for lemon.
What does Yarmouth mean?
Do you mean in like a size or like a style?
No, because people might not know what a Yarmouth shirt is. What to look out for.
The Yarmouth style is basically a boxy 90s style fit.
Thank you. This is a toast jacket. It's like moleskin velvet, but not. But it's got a military like vibe to it, which I find sells really well with toast. The only issue with it is it was £40. Which
that's quite a large issue.
It's a large price tag actually. Was it £30? Oh, it's expensive. Mint velvet. SOCAIL. It's a and it's an and other stories. I couldn't work out, however, if it was missing a cami because it was completely sheer.
I gotta say, I think and other stories, I think that was a bit risque to say the least. If it didn't come with a like an undergarment of sorts.
I actually really like selling and of stories, and it sells really well for me on Vinted. For anyone who wants to know, I know people sell it quite easily on eBay as well. I think it's selected pieces. I would look for things with a bit more pizzazz. The same as Hush. The same with Mint Velvet. It's one of those brands that you want to look out for, like more spectacular things.
These are cool. These are A6. I think they were £15. They were good condition, nice colour, very kind of like a sagey kind of vibe, but probably looking about £30-40 resale.
I don't want you to be shocked by looking at a book. I know, it's crazy. So I
don't act like you can read, lady.
I noticed the brand here, beginning with P, that I can never pronounce.
Someone said the other day, didn't
they? And they are very well known for making coffee table books. So I knew instantly, maybe.
No.
I knew instantly it was a more upmarket book, if you will. It had a laser cut dust cover, etc.
Oh yeah, it was.
So I looked up and did a basic Google search, which I often do if I'm in a rush or want to do it quickly. And I looked at the Amazon price because it's a book. I looked, not that we do Amazon, but it's a good gauge of pricing. I looked at the eBay price. And I looked at the World of Books price, which is like the World of Books, like where they sell like literally the most discounted books in the world.
So if it's what you're saying, sorry. So everyone listening, if it's on the World of Books and it's worth a couple of quid on there, it's definitely worth picking up.
Well, yeah.
If it's expensive on the World of Books
I thought you actually meant a couple of quid. No, I mean like if it's got good money.
Yeah.
So on the World of Books, it was £35, so that's a good start. At eBay, it varied between 30 and 40. So I have stuck ours up on eBay for £30.
It was £5.
It was £5. I thought I would just try something new, and it was a lovely thing. It was so lovely to like hold.
I've got to say, it's lovely condition as well. There were a few marks on the cover which just came off with an easy wipe, but apart from that, it is pristine.
This is the Hedgehog shop. Oh my god, did you see that back room there? It wasn't even a back room, but that corner made me feel a certain kind of way.
Look at these. I'm not going to talk to you about it, but these are like very they're obviously like kind of Y2K kind of skate shoes. I don't know if the brand itself is worth anything, but Levin recently did a series of skater shoes which were really, really big, massive, chunky, oversized things. Maybe I'll put a picture here. You'll see what I'm talking about. So skater shoes went kind of through the roof. DC Shoe Co, etc., etc.,
etc., etc. Anything with like a chunky silhouette, with the thick laces,
and a fat tongue.
And a fat tongue, yeah. We'll definitely put a picture in for you because they were really popular and they were like £800 or something like.
Yeah, they were really, really. They looked like runway shoes, weren't they?
This is a real rummage around shop. You have to get in and out of the boxes and under the rails, and it's one of those shops, if that makes sense. It's find a space and put it there kind of shop.
Yeah, I appreciate that about this shop, to be really honest with you.
We found some great things in here in the past. We found some Windsor new with tags. We found Kate Spade coat, which I sold for £150. And this trip pays off too. I don't know what it is about this shop, but it works well for us, if that makes sense.
I think they are really good brands. Like you say, there's always solid pieces here.
Here we go.
One or two.
So
speaking
this
of solid pieces,
is a Mulberry coat. Now I speak regularly about Mulberry clothing and there are pieces to pick up and pieces not to pick up. This is a mid-late 2000s.
Yeah.
It is a Mac or a sort of outdoors coat, if you will.
Waterproof.
It's very wearable. It's very practical, but it's also contemporary, and it has the sort of like Mulberry signs, like the little trees, and do you know what I mean? It's a piece that a Mulberry collector would buy and enjoy to wear.
100%. The other thing to note about this is not like obviously just a plain t-shirt or a pair of jeans. This is not only a nice waxed cotton coat, but it's also it's got a heavyweight hardware, so that always tells you that it would have been a more expensive piece retail.
So it would have been designed by Emma Hill, who now owns Hill & Friends, another luxury brand to look out for. I'll put the logo up higher.
The Smileys, they're known for, aren't they?
Yeah, we paid £5 for that, and I would expect at least 100 back. This is a mint velvet. I just picked this up because it's nice to buy multiple things in a shop and, bread and butter. This was a mint velvet lemon yellow knit, cotton knit. It had a nice zip detail to the sleeve, however, and it was £3.50. It's a nice little vintage 25er.
The other thing I was going to mention, I don't know if anyone noticed, on the tag for the mulberry, when I first showed it, it was £1, and I flipped over, it was £5. Bethany shouted at me, I said, should I ask which one it is? And Bethany said, just pay the £5.
I know.
I understand. I can be cheap sometimes, but like you say, it is for charity, so it's all good.
If one side said 100 and one said 5, I would ask the question, but...
It was £1.
It was.
I have 100 pennies.
It was £5, just so everyone knows.
It was indeed. Me looking at vintage boot bags.
I have found some great stuff in the shop, though, and I really like it, and it's well worth visiting the independent shops, because in most places they are like the original and like still the really good charity shops.
Talk to me about this vest quickly.
This is a Heidi Klum Intimates range. She has her own Intimates range, bras and knickers and all those fun things, and they have a higher retail on par with Stella McCartney. So I did look at that new with tags. I'll put the comps up here, and I also found these on the way out, £3.50.
Rag and Bone.
Rag and Bone. They are cotton, they're not linen, but they're oversized, like paper bag waist. They've got the side thigh
kind of cropped as well. Yeah,
they're like cargo.
Cropped cargos almost.
I imagine someone would wear them like low rise with like a vest, or like
do you imagine that?
Like early 2000s.
Mid 2000s.
Honey, do you remember Honey, the film with
yes.
Jessica Alba?
I need to go and dance on the street vibes.
Yeah, that kind of vibe, yeah. Anyway, £3.50 Rag and Bone. They would have retailed for about 200, 250 perhaps at a push. Rag
and Bone's amazing to me, honestly. Their retail is a madness. People I don't think people sleep on Rag and Bone. I really do.
And their denim's really good as well. Anyway, I'll list them for about 125 to 150 and see what interest we have in them. Definitely a cross list of vestiaires in order there, I think.
So not a bad day's picking all in all.
A little short one. Sometimes we just pop out. We pop out in the middle. Everyone's like, you always source every day. How do you do it? Because sometimes we just go to one town and we're there for an hour and then we go home. And this is the result.
Yeah, but by the same token, that's why sometimes we have like 5 hours of footage to crop down.
Yeah.
Bye.